It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. American Airlines Arena, the place, and the Miami Heat will be on their home floor as they go up against the Chicago Bulls. For Chicago, their first time playing these guys this season. A year ago, going 1-2. They'd like to improve on that this go-around. And the front lines for both teams tonight, powerful, explosive. Shaq, what's the key these days to building a great front court?
Well, the more versatile, the better. But it's more about skill and brute strength. You know I'm about skill and brute strength. I was the most skillful and brutally strong guy ever to play the game.
It's right, you are brutal.
What's so funny?
That, front court guys need to change ends. That's what's funny to me, Shaq. Nothing else. I just tell you right now, nothing else is funny to me.
You want me to show you how strong I am? I'll flip this table over right now.
I believe you could. I believe you could.
What you looking at, Ernie?
Not much.
Oh.
All right.
It's on. It's on.
I see Ernie.
And here's Kevin Harlan. Here's Kevin Harlan.
I'll see you in the locker room, Ernie.
Everyone is in their seat and buckled in at the American Airlines Arena as the Heat look to grab a win here in Miami. With Brent Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. For the Miami Heat, they won their last contest, that game against the Grizzlies of Memphis.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
And sometimes when you're pushing the action, you can see some great teamwork, and then all of a sudden the individuals on your team can take over. All of that here tonight.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, with the shift towards so-called positionless basketball, the market for wing players has never been hotter. The average height in the NBA is now right around 6'7", so players in that range are the perfect fit for this new two-way style. Guys?
Well, especially those players with the skill to do a little bit of everything. D.A., thank you. And a long way to go, Brent, but there are some early signs of a legitimate playoff contender, championship contender.
When we talk about that, Kevin, you and I always are leery of the fact of how many of these guys have had the experience of being scarred up in the early rounds of the playoffs, having to advance or beat a team that's proven before. Right now, there are some teams out there that are raising our eyebrows where we think they're going to have an opportunity. If they keep growing like this and they keep finding this type of consistency, they could be dangerous.
You'd like to think they're going to use those scars, as you say, from the past and motivate them even more.
Well, those are the teams who we believe can always take the next step.
Sure.
It's the young teams that are unproven, even though they're playing well, where we sometimes wonder, will they be able to maintain this kind of focus from playoff time?
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So the Bulls 5 right now. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Murray out there with Levine. And it's Durant in at the 3, the small forward.
Well, Durant's skill, he's got so many scoring options. Left, right, and of course over the top.
Richardson kicks to Oladipo. 6 to shoot. Here's Drummond. Good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Now here's Levine. He had a 33-point outing in their last game against Atlanta. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. And it's Drummond with the ball. He'll bring it up for Miami. Richardson kicks to Drummond. Durant against George. Oladipo for 3. The Heat keeping it alive. Fresh 24. Richardson dishes to Oladipo. Richardson against Levine. Richardson finds Oladipo. That 3 off target had some space there after the little pump fake. outside Durant. No one near him. He can't hit that time. And it's Miami the other way. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. It's Oladipo on the wing. He's covered by Murray. Oladipo, the pass to Drummond. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Drummond's got his second basket.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Murray gets to Durant. Drills the three-pointer. Durant's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Chicago.
KD defines efficient catch-and-shoot players. Perfectly timed there. Great rhythm off the pass.
How about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Murray, the pass to Markkanen. Carter against Drummond. Carter kicks to Durant. The 17-footer. And he hits the jump shot. Durant's got 8. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Pass to Richardson. Six on the shot clock. The kick out to Oladipo. That one no good. Now Chicago takes it the other way.
Now this is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible. Not getting anything to go. Wow, huge sigh of relief for the defense on that possession. You cannot give mid-range shooters any space like that to operate.
Now here's Oladipo. Left side, George. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Wendell Carter.
That straight line drive there from Paul George. You love to see him get in that attack mode. Let's see if he can cash in now at the line.
That's good from George.
PG played his first 7 seasons in Indiana with the Pacers and guided them to 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. And that playoff PG moniker that he came up with, it holds true if you look at the numbers. And when the Pacers were about to rebuild, I think Paul George let them know that he was willing to move on to continue his career somewhere else.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. A lot of fans in Indiana upset with Paul George for deciding to leave. Do they have a point, Brent, or is that unfair?
I think it's a little unfair, Kevin. Those 7 great years from Paul George. Obviously had to recover from the leg injury and came back strong. But PG wanting to go somewhere where he could win a title, and that's a decision that every player has to make. PG thought somewhere else he might have that opportunity and maybe more chances to do so.
Here's Levine. Paul George making his last shot. And here is Durant. A 26-point game for him in the win against the Hawks in Atlanta.
Well, the thing he did most was fluster the defense. I really liked how he showed no fear and constantly attacked the lane and drew contact, which in turn got him the free throws.
And the shot goes in.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
The 9-foot shot, and the jumper is on the mark. Durant's got 10 points in the game.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
And George kicks to Oladipo. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And you can feel that Oladipo was on the verge of a breakthrough, and boy, did he ever. Everything came together for him, And he is now not only an elite scorer, but an all-star. Can attack from any distance and has a variety of ways to hurt the defense.
That's good from Oladipo. And for Oladipo, Greg, there wasn't just one moment that gave him that push.
I mean, his development was less of having a eureka moment and more of everything just coming together. Has always had the strong athleticism, has refined his shot to make the most of it. And while it took him some time, he's now the player everyone hoped he'd be when he was the second overall pick.
Well, this Heat organization has had such a great run of success under their owner, Mickey Arison, and what Pat Riley has done to pour the foundation of the culture around Miami. This is not a team that likes to throw away any chance to compete or any season for that matter.
LaVine can't hit.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
And memories of the Big Three era of Bosh and Wade and LeBron James still fresh, Brent, in the memory of the Heat organization.
Well, more fresh in the memory of the fans of the Miami Heat. The organization trying to do their best to move forward and move on. Of course, that team, 4 straight finals appearances, won 2 NBA championships. They want to get back to that level. They know they got to find some talent and some diamonds in the rough and trying to figure out a path to get there.
Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
And I ask you, what can you do? This guy is a phenomenal decision maker.
Here's Drummond. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. 6 points for Andre Drummond.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And Paul George, a terrific two-way player, an all-star, an all-NBA performer, and multiple all-defense selections. All right, a moment to check out the stats for Andre Drummond. He's coming off an excellent season, second in rebounding. And he was such a reliable option offensively, finishing in the top 10 in field goal percentage.
And looking back at last season, his complete dominance on the boards to rank number 2 overall. Absolutely remarkable. And Paul George has made it a goal to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, he's got tremendous length and quickness, but really his pride at that end of the floor might matter even more. He just takes great pride in being a complete player.
Now, here's Markkanen. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Atlanta.
Well, I think he was especially impressive on the glass. The defense had no idea what to do with him.
Durant against Richardson, and stolen by Richardson. George dishes to Richardson. Got a piece of it, and he's able to get it back.
Wow, the large wingspan of Durant on full display. What a block there.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Bulls trail by 8. On the wing, LaVine, guarded by Oladipo. Carter lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now, here is George. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. Oladipo goes in. The league no longer wants to reward offensive players who throw themselves into defenders. Have you seen a big change in how those players, Brent, are being called?
I think the league's doing a better job of it, trying to examine when it
Seems that way, you're right.
Somebody gets up in the air and the offensive player leans in or kicks out and tries to draw some kind of contact. So it's been up to the referees. They've been diligent with it. I think they'll just get better with time.
And the first one at the line is good.
Oladipo can be so explosive, long and lengthy. I'd like to see him continue to get better.
Oladipo hits them both.
And they've clearly been the aggressors here early on, drawing fouls and working themselves to the line.
Kicks it to Markkanen. Drummond working against Carter. Outside Durant, 5 to shoot. And Carter with the basket on the assist by Durant. Carter's got 5.
Well, KD, an awesome job there, just sharing the rock with his teammates.
George finds Richardson. Here's Nurkic. Second chance shot, and the layup is up and in.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Carter outside to the paint. Let's go. It's good. 12 points for Kevin Durant.
You know, with KD, there's just not a spot on the floor where once he gets it, you don't feel like he's confident and comfortable to score. Tonight, inflicting some serious pain.
Now, here's Oladipo. He has 7. Can't connect from short range.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
The pass to Levine. Markkanen with it. Carter at the elbow. Here's Levine, and the jam by Levine.
And this is why defensively you can't afford to let Levine get to the rim. Too much explosiveness.
Lobbed up there for Drummond. It's stolen by Carter. Levine kicks to Markkanen, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Jusuf Nurkic.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Chicago shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And Markkanen is a perfect candidate for that stretch 4. Outstanding at pulling the trigger from deep and not afraid to go inside and bang with the other bigs.
And he makes both free throws.
Well, they depend on him to score, and that doesn't mean just from the field. Sometimes it comes from the charity stripe.
Oladipo taking his time here. And George gets it to go. George has got 5 now.
He does a lot of work on the perimeter, but don't let Paul George fool you. He can finish inside.
Chicago calls timeout. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
And you know, when everyone's working together, taking care of their roles, it just makes the game easier.
Well, they not only had the right strategy, but they were very exact in their execution. And when the coaches call in the right plays, everything just looks seamless.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Bam Adebayo's checked in for Drummond. Winslow comes in for George. Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Josh Richardson. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Victor Oladipo. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Dinwiddie passes to Johnson. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Bazemore. Oh, and the jam by Bazemore.
And really, Bazemore has terrific defensive instincts. The more he plays, the better those will get.
That instant replay brought to you by Under Armour Hover Habit, giving us a chance to relive the unleashing of chaos that time. Right at the free throw line, Dinwiddie's shot is off. And so Bazemore will bring it up for the Bulls. Covered by Winslow. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. There's so many great point guards in the league right now, Brent. Which of them do you think does the best job of running the pick and roll?
I think Chris Paul still heads up the top of my list for pick and roll operators. He's so devastating and has been for his entire career in the mid-range, just settling in at the free throw line and popping shots that seem effortless, and he's able to knock it down. Steph Curry is still at the point guard position does so many unique things, Kevin, playing without the basketball and setting screens away from the ball to open up teammates, which eventually gives him opportunities to shoot threes. So divergently different, those two, but two of my favorites to watch.
He's off on the second. And for Jusuf Nurkic, you see the flashes of how dominant he can be in every game.
I mean, the potential is there, and he is working hard to find that consistency. I do believe he's noticeably better when he plays with an edge. He's more in tune with what's going on. You almost want to rile him up or do something to tick him off before every game to get the best out of him.
The Heat trail by 5. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Fades back, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
And Nurkic testing his luck from the mid-range.
Murray kicks to Robinson. Bazemore against Johnson. From 13, Miami grabs the miss. Nurkic has got his 4th rebound in this one.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Here's Dinwiddie. Passes it to Nurkic. Now here's Winslow. Not a lot of room. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
Miami's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Dinwiddie kicks to Winslow. 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Clock at 6. It's tipped. Another shot. Outside for Murray. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for the Chicago Bulls. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We'll return shortly. Versatility is so important in today's NBA. That works just fine for combo guard Tyler Johnson.
I don't really limit myself to one position. I feel like I can guard both positions. Being able to do that, I feel like I'll have the capability to fill in when needed.
And with all the switching we see teams, Greg, employing right now, that defensive versatility is highly prized, highly valuable.
And Johnson, an excellent athlete. He's got the tools to impact the game both offensively and defensively.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far in the scoreboard. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, that prevented some points, didn't it? Also, how you have that intimidation factor going early on. You wonder if in the fourth quarter they'll think back to the first.
Adebayo is out there with Nurkic, and it's Justice Winslow, and it's Tyler Johnson, and it's Dinwiddie in at the point guard position. So that's who Miami starts the second with. Now here's Winslow. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. He gets that one. Winslow's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Heat. Covered by Winslow, and the call will be against Jusuf Nurkic. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Covered by Winslow. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. 5 to shoot. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one.
More good work on on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Now here's Johnson. Adebayo. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Adebayo's got his third basket of the night right there.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Bazemore against Johnson. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
And here's some numbers on Bazemore. How he performed last season. Averaged about 13 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he can play some valuable minutes on the wing for this team.
I just want to kick back and lounge here because when this guy's hot, it's a love story. And when he's cold, it's a nightmare. So sit back, get your popcorn. Let's see what he does.
Now, here's Nurkic. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Memphis. Gets it to go. That one good from Adebayo.
I really like the awareness, noticing that he's got the mismatch, and then he just used his size as his advantage on the layup.
And Chicago has possession, following the score by Miami. Covered by Winslow. Baseline jumper. And the rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Shot from the wing. And it's Winslow. That time on the assist by Johnson. Now it's a 5-point Heat lead.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Pass to Robinson. The dish to Bazemore. Trying to get something going. And the Bulls with another miss. Miami leading by 5. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they've got a nice groove going right now offensively. They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And one thing they'll discuss are the defensive rotations. The other is in the matchups.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside. And even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for the Bulls.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to beat those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
Covered by Winslow. Murray outside. Pass to Bazemore. Outside for Robinson. Murray with it. A second chance effort. Nurkic with the block.
Is this basketball or volleyball? Nurkic with the spike.
And here are the Heat. Stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Johnson goes in.
And Tyler Johnson, undrafted out of Fresno State back in 2014. One of those lunch pail players. Didn't take him long to make his mark in the NBA.
The Heat shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. First free throw is good. Good on both. Bulls trail by 8. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Murray kicks it to Bazemore. Stripped away. And there's the pass to Dinwiddie. Back to Johnson. Lots of room. Misses off the left iron. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the Chicago Bulls. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Goodbye Winslow. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Tice. Puts up a 3. Buries the long-range jumper. He's got 6. Now the Heat with it. They're on a 13-5 run here. And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive, but not committing turnovers.
And a new group in for the Heat. Drummond's checked in for Adebayo. Paul George comes in for Winslow. Josh Richardson's checked in for Johnson. And it's Victor Oladipo in for Dinwiddie. Second shot opportunity and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good. Bulls trail by 6. Levine kicks to Tice. Lobs it up for Levine, and Levine throws it down.
Fun to watch Kent Bazemore flesh out more of his overall game, quick at getting passes over to his teammates.
Richardson finds Oladipo. Back to Richardson. Oladipo outside. Over Levine. And it's Durant with the rebound.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
Now here's Levine. Victor Oladipo unable to get his last shot to go. For the finish. Whoa!
Now, Oladipo has had some highlight dunks in his career. There's another one.
Dean passes to Carter. Back to Levine. He kicks to Carter. Passes it to Levine. 5 on the clock. Carter outside. Victor Oladipo grabs the miss. Miami leading by 6. That one drops for him. Oladipo's got 11 points.
And finishing inside, something Oladipo has worked on, learning to deal with NBA size down low.
Oladipo against Levine. Nurkic with the block. Outside, George. It's Richardson on the wing. He's covered by Bazemore. Oladipo for 3. And again, Miami with the triple.
Yeah, his shooting has been on target here in the second frame after not being able to get anything going in the first.
Bulls trail by 11. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be on Victor Oladipo. The Bulls have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
One shot.
Miami leading by 8. Richardson kicks to Oladipo. Over Durant. Nurkic trying to get open. Moves back up. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
Lobs it up for Levine.
Now you could just tell in his gait and in the look on his face, he's in a great rhythm after a terrific first quarter. He is feeling it here in the second.
And Oladipo kicks to Drummond. Richardson the pass to Nurkic. In the hoop for his 4th field goal. 4 for 7 shooting and looking for more.
And boy, has he come alive. Since the start of the second quarter, he has been on fire.
The defense was solid there, smothering him close inside, and that's how you want to guard him.
And it's George finishing it off.
Well, that's a good chance to see Paul George burst that time.
And so Bazemore will bring it up for the Bulls. Down by 12. Carter kicks to Tice. Kick out to Levine. And that one's on target from the wing. Levine's got 9 points in the quarter.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
And the Heat call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. It's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And the Heat making a change here. Winslow's checked in. Markkanen, he's checked in for Chicago. DeJounte Murray comes in for Kent Bazemore.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Now here's Murray. Right side Durant. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Brent, has there ever been a player who scores more easily with less effort than Kevin Durant?
Well, I know this, Kevin, that Kevin puts in a ton of work to make it look as easily as it does. There's just nobody that can match up with KD. And when he's playing like this, he gets out into the mid-range and starts to hit a few shots. Watching him be on fire for a night is a treat.
That's good from Durant.
Well, he's won an MVP. He's won a championship. He's won a gold medal. He's been the MVP in the finals. It's a pretty full resume for one Kevin Durant.
Durant hits them both. Commissioner Adam Silver has balanced his comments between wanting parity, Brent, and recognizing there are always going to be super teams. Is there middle ground there?
Is there middle ground?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You would like to have some of the teams just be more competitive than they are, but some of the creative, circuitous routes that teams have taken to put themselves in the position to get better, younger talent has decimated.
What do you call that?
I don't have a term for it.
Okay.
I don't like the one that's used, so I don't have a term for it. Let's just call it setting yourself up for the future, Kevin.
Looking ahead.
Yes, exactly. So I just don't think you'll ever get it. You do hope that some of the starving franchises do have some success for the fans who have just, they've had to bear a lot. So you root for them.
Here's Markkanen following the score by Miami. Durant dishes to Carter. Misses from short range.
He's having a tough quarter scoring the basketball and able to help them close this gap.
Richardson finds Oladipo. Outside, George. Pass to Drummond. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Great D that time from Durant.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Now here's Durant. He's got 14. Back to Murray. The shot by Markkanen, nobody around, and a miss there on the triple. The Heat leading by 14. It's rebounded by Durant. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Now, here is George. 9 points in the game so far. Yes, that goes in. George has got the lead up to 14 now for the Heat.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Murray, the pass to Markkanen. Carter kicks to Durant. Carter against Drummond. Murray for three. That shot, no good. And the Heat going the other way now.
He sunk that three in the first, but's yet to make another one.
And the dunk by Winslow.
And that's what we mean by combo guard skills right there. Kept his head up and found the open man.
Richardson against Murray. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Kicks to Durant. Over George. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Miami Heat in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And we'll be right back after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaquille O'Neal is here. Say hello to the people, Shaq.
Hola.
Kenny's here.
Ni hao.
And we're analyzing the first half of action. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They got their lead up to as many as 8 points in the opening period. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
In terms of their offensive performance, that was a very well-played half of basketball. Good ball movement off the ball, hard screens being set, and they found the guy for the open look. That's how they were able to shoot such a tremendous percentage from the field. With that fluid, efficient offense, they'll be tough to catch in the second half.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You look at Victor Oladipo in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, and through 2 quarters, he's been lights out. And you know he's going to look to add to those totals.
And defensively, hard to force him out of the rhythm at this point because he has a number of ways with which he can beat you.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Bulls trail by 16. Taking a look at the Bulls. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Zach LaVine is out there with Murray. And it's Durant in at the 3. Markkanen passes to LaVine. Now Durant. Richardson covered. That doesn't go either for Durant.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
The tenacity, the attention to detail. It's why these guys are in complete control.
And it seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Now here's LaVine. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. It's George on the wing, defended by Carter. 6 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Drummond.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
Durant, no good. The Heat leading by 20. And Oladipo kicks to George. It's deflected. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
A moment here to check out Kevin Durant. Coming off a terrific season. 6th in blocks, 11th in three-point field goal percentage, and ranked in the top 15 in free throw percentage. Tremendous confidence and technique at the line.
Great anticipation and timing. That's how he ended up a top 10 shot blocker. Now, here's Oladipo. Here's Richardson. Over Levine. Richardson, no luck. And so Levine will bring it up now for the Bulls. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. Dishes it to Markkanen. To the paint. And Levine throws it down.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Now, here's Oladipo. He's got 16. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. And the Heat lead by 20.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Here is Carter. 5 points in the game. Back to Levine. Rebound by the Heat. Richardson's got his 4th rebound in this one.
They're 1 of 5 to begin this half, guys, and they have to address this problem quickly or this could get out of hand.
The shot from 20 feet away. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Markkanen's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
He's still looking for his shot. Somehow they're winning. They'd like to get him going.
From deep, George. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Now Murray. Here's the teardrop. It's deflected. In transition, here comes Miami. And there's the bucket from Victor Oladipo. Oladipo's got 18 points in the game.
Oh, yeah, and if you didn't think Oladipo could fill the lane in transition, he answered your questions there.
Levine dishes to Murray. It's hauled in by the Heat.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
And Josh Richardson at the University of Tennessee was a pre-med student, plans on becoming a surgeon. But when the NBA became a possibility, he said he had to switch to an easier major.
And instead of spending 4 hours a day studying, he put that time into the gym. The terrific defender in college, was the 2-time All-SEC defensive player. And with the newfound focus on basketball, he has blossomed as a scorer.
Here's Murray after the made shot from Victor Oladipo. Durant for 3. It's hauled in by Richardson. Richardson's got 7 rebounds in the game.
He got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Durant finds Levine. Carter with it. Back to Levine. 6 to shoot. Looking to end the run. It's good. Levine's got 4 points this quarter.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around him.
Here's Adebayo. Lays it up and banks it in. Adebayo's got 10 points.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now here's Levine. He's got 17.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball in the three-point lane.
And George kicks to Richardson. Pass to Oladipo. Oladipo draws the double. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And so here is Chicago. Chicago's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Durant, the pass to Markkanen. He kicks it to Carter. The pass to Levine. And Levine with the slam.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Now, here's George. 11 points in the game. Passes it to Oladipo. Good. Oladipo's got 22.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Levine against Richardson. Now here's Levine. Defense is right there. Down low. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Richardson finds Oladipo. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Wednesday, they'll head home to take on the Utah Jazz. And then on Saturday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Indiana Pacers.
And for that game against the Hawks, even though they should get the win, I would expect it to be a bit of a battle. Just because they are favored doesn't mean it's an automatic W.
And the Heat with some changes. Nurkic checked in for Andre Drummond. Justice Winslow comes in for Bam Adebayo. And Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for Richardson. Oladipo hits them both. And Chicago shooting under 40% all in all for the game. Pass to Durant. Clock at 4. Miami grabs the miss. Nurkic has got 11 rebounds in the game.
Man, he's missing those kind of good looks. His team is in some serious trouble.
The shot by George, no good.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Kicks it to Durant. And it's good for 2. Durant's got 16 points.
Well, Kevin Durant not only feels like he can score from everywhere, he does. So when he's that close, just count it.
Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Levine. Oladipo outside. Off target from outside. And so Levine will bring it up now for the Chicago Bulls. The feed now to Durant. Over George. The 18-footer is right on the mark. And that's now 18 points for Kevin Durant.
Well, that's a smart shot by KD. Sizes up the D and then just cashes in.
Winslow dishes to George. Miami no good on that time either. Chicago's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Down low, tries from 7. And the nice bucket inside from Markkanen. Markkanen's got his second bucket.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And it's Oladipo with the jam.
Oladipo showing you just a bit of everything tonight. Aggressive in his attack.
Covered by Winslow. Pass to Markkanen. Fader on the way. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
And how about that stroke from mid-range by Markkanen? There's a 7-footer with a deadly jumper. That's like a defense's worst nightmare.
Now, here's Oladipo. He's got 26. We've got 1:48 left in the third quarter of the game. Winslow wide open. He fires. And a miss there on the triple. The Bulls shooting 41% from the floor so far in the third. Durant deciding where to go with it. Markkanen in the corner. From deep. Markkanen missing again. And Miami shooting it well here in the third, about 50%. Dinwiddie kicks to George. Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Levine. Dinwiddie passes to Nurkic. And in from the low block. Nurkic has got 10 points.
That's exactly the shot they're looking for.
There's 53 seconds left in the third. Durant and the rebound by Nurkic. The Heat shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Here's George. That shot off. And the Bulls going the other way now. Down low. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 8 points for him.
That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
Dinwiddie kicks to Oladipo. Inside. And Nurkic with the basket on the assist by Oladipo. Oladipo's got his 7th assist in the game. 23 seconds left in the third. Levine against Oladipo. Outside, Levine. He kicks to Durant.
Yeah, the defender over-aggressive there, but the conventional wisdom is you're trying to do whatever it is that you can to disrupt Durant's rhythm.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And over the course of last year, he was up over 90%. And with a stroke like that, you see why.
2 and 2.
The first one falls. Durant hits them both. And so it's the Miami Heat finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
and he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
And that's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Nurkic is out there with Adebayo. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Winslow. And it's Dinwiddie in at the 1. That's the group on the floor for Miami. And the foul on Kent Bazemore. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Stolen away.
That's a bad miscue, but I think they've done a really good job keeping control of the ball throughout the game.
One team owner proposed that we should abolish the draft and have free agency for rookies, maybe giving lesser teams a bigger pool of money to spend. Just some of the ideas these teams in the league is throwing out there.
Well, that's an interesting idea. The one that I heard about last summer was in Houston trying to flip-flop free agency and the draft so that all of a sudden what you can do is draft players after it is that you've made all your free agent acquisitions, so you could draft positionally. You know you're set up for your team next year. And the more I've thought about that, Kevin, coming into the season, the more I like it. So we'll see what kind of traction that gets.
Here's Bazemore after the basket by Jusuf Nurkic over Johnson. Here's Robinson, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
I like the physicality there on the glass on full display. Great at hitting the boards and then capitalizing off the second chance opportunity.
Here's Adebayo. Takes a 3. Winslow's shot is off.
And it just hurts to miss shots like this. Mentally, you question yourself, and it can affect your confidence.
Murray dishes to Bazemore. Robinson passes to Murray. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Bazemore. Out of hand on it, and they're able to recover. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. A nice shot by Winslow.
Even though Winslow gets bodied up there, I don't know if he even felt that contact. His focus helps him knock down the shot.
Murray kicks to Robinson. Bazemore with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Stripped it away. Dinwiddie passes to Winslow. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And Bazemore kicks to Murray. Back to Bazemore. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Shot clock at 6. From deep. And again, Chicago, no good. Kicks it out to Johnson. That's tipped. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Bazemore is an athletic player who continues to try to evolve his game. When he gets out into transition, that's when you're going to get Bazemore at his best.
And the first one at the line is good. With Kent Bazemore, Brent, a lot of what he brings on the defensive end starts with his length, a very large, long arm span.
Yeah, not a picnic for any guard that's trying to navigate around the length of Kent Bazemore. He's always had an impressive steal and block total as the seasons have gone on, and the ball handler doesn't ever feel quite comfortable with Baze around.
And so Bazemore nails both of them.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Dinwiddie passes to Winslow. Kicks to Dinwiddie. Back to Winslow. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. To the middle. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. The pass to Dinwiddie. To the paint. Here's Adebayo. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
The chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed.
His passes to Tice. Here's Van Vliet. Bazemore on the wing. Passes it to Tice. Nurkic with the block. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nurkic. Here's Van Vliet. Here's Dinwiddie. On the wing, Winslow. And it's off from three-point range. Chicago has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Hutchison passes to Van Vliet. To the left side wing. Here's Hutchison. 4 on the clock. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Winslow. In transition, here comes Miami. Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Bulls. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Tice kicks to Hammonds. Bazemore against Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Pulls it from 20. And he overshot that one, missing. For Miami, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Winslow. Rebound by Hammonds.
And they still need to step up just a little bit. They have the lead, but he needs to find himself out there.
Pass to Van Vliet. Here's Hutchison. Hammonds kicks to Tice. Here's Hutchison to end the cold streak. And again, no good by Chicago. Johnson outside. And it's denied.
Sensational coverage by Bazemore there. His length makes him a threat to always be able to block shots like that.
Here's Van Vliet. This is the second year with the sponsored patches on the jersey. Advertising, more or less. Have you gotten used to seeing those things?
Yeah, I think it was no problem last year.
Small, they're on your jersey.
Some teams did some really cool creative things with the color schemes, and I don't think we've seen the last of that, Kevin.
We see it in European games on their jerseys.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to recognize the number with how many advertisements are on the jerseys. But
billboard.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with it yet. You got to make that. The defense was far from terrible, but man, that's an easy shot.
Pass to Tice. Here's Hammonds. Now here's Bazemore. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Stupendous work by Bazemore to force the defense into him there. His skill set really presents a challenge to opposing defenders.
Taking 2 shots. And he makes the first. And a new group in for the Heat. Andre Drummond's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Paul George comes in for Bam Adebayo. Josh Richardson's checked in for Tyler Johnson. And it's Oladipo in for Dinwiddie. And so Bazemore nails both of them. Do you see a lot of player tampering right now in the NBA?
Well, how do you define it, Kevin?
Well, if a player wants to go out and recruit other players that may be under contract with another team.
I see that a lot then, Kevin. I mean, it happens all the time. Players talking about what are you thinking about doing and about, wow, don't you think this would be great if we could get together on the floor in 2021? Let's try to...
But management doing it is a completely different end.
Management cannot do it, although some teams have walked that tightrope a little bit to the point where they've fallen off in recent years. But the idea of players not ever talking to one another about the potential of being together.
Come on, right?
It's always happening.
Time now for an injury report.
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the Bulls gave us some information, and the news is pretty good. It does not look like a severe injury. That is such a tough blow to take at the early stage of this season. Hopefully, with it being early, we can recover and help this team down the road. Kevin?
Appreciate that, D.A. Well, it's never easy for a player to go through what he's experiencing, Greg, right now.
But it is something that happens to almost every player. He's strong enough mentally to get through it. This we know.
Sometimes off the court, you work harder than you do preparing for a regular game. He'll get himself ready to go. Look forward to when he gets back on the court.
And another turnover here by Chicago.
Miami ball.
And Miami has possession. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Bazemore against Richardson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Tearaway warm-ups have long been a feature of the NBA. But last season, the new tearaway jerseys, they just kept ripping apart.
The old uniform malfunction, Kevin, last year. Yeah, maybe...
You even had a couple malfunctions, and that was odd.
Well, the tie, bad tie. I always have bad ties. I think they're looking back at the material choices for what they're doing. So maybe there'll be some subtle changes into this year. But it was interesting in the early part of last year. A lot of guys with a finger underneath the arm and pulling away a jersey and ripped away. So maybe the supplier will do something about the fabric this year.
And Richardson drops them both.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
And so Levine will bring it up now for the Chicago Bulls. Carter against Drummond. Levine, that's in there. Carter with the assist. Carter's got 5 assists tonight.
This guy is looking for some life preservers. He needs more help. He's playing well, but his teammates have to pick up the slack here.
Kept alive. Here's Oladipo. The layup off target.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Miami's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. He dishes it to George. Drummond working against Durant. And Drummond kicks to Oladipo. 5 on the clock, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Well, Victor's showing some nice signs of vision on that play. Not an easy cover in the pick and roll. It's a nice pass.
Bean passes to Markkanen. Back to Levine, and it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Bam Adebayo's checked in for the Heat. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Murray's checked in for Kent Bazemore. Heat shooting in the fourth quarter has looked shabby, 38%. Murray against Oladipo. Oladipo draws the double and wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. One thing I like about Adam Silver, he is always looking to break new ground, push the envelopes, and develop new areas of innovation.
Well, always forward thinking, and of course this league has always done that. Adam is found a new position in the league, having a chief innovation officer in place, somebody that's always examining not only how things are going in the league and maybe being adaptable to change, but examining what's going on worldwide. And you always see the way the league tinkers with and toys with Summer League and the way the G League competition sets up in order to try to find more ways to make the game more enjoyable or more accessible to the fan base.
And the pass to George. He kicks to Drummond. Pass to Oladipo. There's the three. Chicago grabs the miss.
You know, he's usually very reliable from out there, but tonight it's just not going down.
Pass to Levine. Murray against Richardson. Back to Levine. Over Oladipo. That one off the back iron and out.
Got to make those shots. Not sure how he missed it. Defense was just okay.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Heat.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Drummond.
Just really loved his activity level here tonight. Constantly mixed it up, and he threw himself into a lot of plays.
And here's George, following the 3 from Kevin Durant. George finds Drummond. Carter with the block, and he recovers it. Outside for George. Pass to Richardson. Drummond, and Drummond is right there.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And the foul on Victor Oladipo. That's his 3rd foul of the game. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Murray outside. The 3. No good. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Victor, what does tonight's performance say about the confidence of this team?
Just look pretty good. We play great together, and we play well together as a team. So when we do that, it's easier for us to beat teams.
Victor Wondermatha, thank you, my man. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. See you next time.